why did you choose to enter this highly competitive field of visual design and advertising?
As a career, I would say what brought me to advertising is basically that you are paid to imagine. I actually really like the fact that the creative industry is not just limited to one industry.
How do you mentally separate yourself from work? Let's say when a client rejects a pitch or a project, maybe.
Biggest part is treating everything as feedback, not criticism. Because the moment you get into that mood of someone is criticizing me, that's when you get defensive. I mean, if you're communicating it to an audience, you really need to be able to communicate it to a client also. So that's
that's the art of design. Yes. Awesome fact. You are a certified PADI open water diver. For those who don't know, PADI stands for PADI, a Professional Association of Diving Instructors. And you are an open water diver, a certified one. And you have been exploring life under the sea since 2011.
So curiosity is something very vital for creative. So I think that helped.
Visual communication design is a tool that can be used to change behaviors and maybe influence opinions of the public. The most powerful tool a designer has is
creative.
I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Think about the last advertisement, campaign, or visual that stayed with you. Chances are you remember more than just a logo or colors. You remember a feeling. Maybe it made you laugh. Maybe it made you feel inspired. Maybe it changed the way that you see the world. But have you ever wondered why some of these stories stay with you for a long time while thousands of others just disappear within seconds? You are listening to Industry360Cast, organized by IEEE IAA Student Branch Chapter of SLIT. And this is where we sit down with industry leaders, innovators, and change makers to uncover the stories, lessons, and ideas that are shaping tomorrow. Now, back to our question. What is behind all these unforgettable advertising campaigns? Not only there is an iconic brand identity, there is always a master storyteller who understands what design is and the fact that it is far more than just software skills. It's a tool used to communicate ideas, shift culture, and drive businesses. This conversation is for you if you have ever been curious about these things. Joining us today is Mr. Chanuka Wijayasinghe, Creative Director at Publicis. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It's an honor. So, as an alumnus of Academy of Design from its inaugural degree batch, Chanuka has built a powerhouse career, holding executive leadership roles at BBDO, Triad, and the Boutique Agency Network, to name a few. Mr. Chanuka, it is an absolute honor to have you with us here today. All right, to start us off, we would go back to the very beginning. About why did you choose to enter this highly competitive field of visual design and advertising?
It's a couple of things. Like when I was in school, I could draw and do things related to art.
Right, you were an artist.
Yep.
I
could do that enough to even get others to get do my homework. So
wow. So you bribed them with art?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was something that I was good at. That I could. When I say I was good at, I enjoyed doing that, and I enjoyed doing it more than everything else that I could do. And as a career, I would say what brought me to advertising is basically that you are paid to imagine. You're just paid for you're paid to express your imagination, And I think that's twofold thing. It's a fun part because you're always like, imagining things and like, putting things in a creative manner.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're paid, so there's a responsibility there.
Yeah.
It's a career. It's not just doing arts; it's commercial arts.
Right.
But the fact that imagination and arts and everything was a part of daily life is what got me to this.
Yeah, I really love that you said how you are basically paid to do what you love, which is imagining and bringing it to life. Looking back, was there a specific defining moment that you were like, you grew up loving it, but you were like, oh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, or this is what I want to contribute to the society? Was there a defining moment?
Yeah, I actually really like the fact that the creative industry is not just limited to one industry. Because if you take like national courses, if you take environmental courses, if you take packaging, branding, anything you want, there's a little part of creativity that touches all these industries. So you never get bored. That's the best part. But of course, it's a challenge every day because you have to constantly learn about something new every day. I think I consider myself lucky because when I was very young, I even studied things for sanitary napkins. So that really opened my mind.
That's awesome.
Because I had to work on those projects. I had to work on those brands. So it's really an eye opener, and so you don't get limited to one particular area, and that was
you get to explore a lot.
So that really kept me interesting.
That's amazing. That's an amazing start to get to know how you came to this position. Now I would like to move on to something that a lot of designers struggle with. Actually, before starting this podcast, we were also talking about it. Many designers burn out because they tie their personal ego to their art. And you advocate for being resilient and absorbing feedback positively as a designer. How do you mentally separate yourself from work? Let's say when a client rejects a pitch or a project, maybe.
I actually took a long time to learn that and like sort of unlearn other things that got in the way also. The first thing is the most important part, I would say, is not looking at anything as criticism and looking at everything as feedback. Because what you realize is the more fights you have at work, the more arguments you have, the more debates you have with clients, you sort of realize that everyone wants to do something really good. They all have like one common goal, but people articulate it differently. So when you get into a little bit of a leadership role and all that, like when you get more intimate with the problems of the client, then you realize that it's feedback. So and if not, you take it as criticism.
Right. They just communicate it differently.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is about like, no, I want this. I really want this to happen.
Yeah.
And you are not understanding how I want it to happen.
Right.
So then my part is to understand how that person wants it to happen, and then sort of figure out, oh, why don't we do this, or get into another discussion and sort of figure out what else could work. So that the biggest part is treating everything as feedback, not criticism, because the moment you get into that mood of like, someone is criticizing me, that's when you get defensive.
Yeah, I feel like being a designer comes with then having that strong mindset as well, that not to go down when somebody comes at you.
I mean, it's easy for creatives to like clash because it's a very passionate industry.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's not like a equation or something that is very
it's
clear.
It's not definite.
Yeah, exactly. It's not very clear in front of you. It's not something transparent. It's very fluid. So it's a matter of understanding what you need to communicate. And I mean, if you're communicating it to an audience, you really need to be able to communicate it to a client also. So that's
that's the art of design. Yes. Awesome. All right. With that, I would like to take you a little bit deeper into our conversation. Now, I would like to take a little bit of a turn and talk about something fascinating from your personal life that directly impacts your professional work. Interestingly, Awesome fact. You are a certified PADI open water diver. For those who don't know, PADI stands for PADI, a Professional Association of Diving Instructors. And you are an open water diver, a certified one. And you have been exploring life under the sea since 2011.
Yes.
And you have mentioned that you initially got into scuba diving to overcome a childhood fear of not being able to see what was under the water. I thought it was really interesting. And how does this area of how you faced a fear of unknown and how you navigated that, how does that articulate into the world of design and who you are as a person in the world of design, your career?
You guys have done some good research. So yeah, the biggest part, what got me into diving is, like you said, I had this irrational fear of not being able to see uh, beneath this what's beneath a water body.
Right.
It was irrational. It was very irrational. And one of my friends, actually, really good childhood friend, is a scuba diver. Happens to be an instructor. So then I trust him enough to, like, say what's good or bad, or, like, whether I should do something.
Right.
And one day we were just at a place where we could go diving. And he's like, why don't you just try, like, just a little bit, like,
Right.
not a big depth.
Yeah.
So we tried, and I kind of realized that by not looking at something that I'm really afraid of, there's a lot that I might miss out.
Right.
Because, like I said, when I got into advertising, it was one of the biggest causes that I wanted to work for was wildlife conservation. And the more I did diving and things like that, then I could relate to things better.
Right.
And also it sort of made me realize that curiosity doesn't always kill the cat. So you can be very curious. You should be curious. And sometimes if you just look beyond what makes you afraid, it sort of gives you a better perspective of why you were afraid of it.
Right. And like you said before as well, how design is something where you explore different domains.
Exactly.
And you get to have practical experience in all these fields.
Yep.
And sometimes you have to overcome the fear to explore these fields as well. That's
so
beautiful.
Curiosity is something very vital for creative. So I think that helped me.
Awesome. I would like to now talk about impact of design and branding with you. Now, many students who are learning design and visual storytelling, they believe that graphic design is just about making things attractive or aesthetically pleasing. That's something even I would think on the surface level. But you have famously stated that visual communication design is a tool that can be used to change behaviors and maybe influence opinions of the public, right? So from your perspective, how exactly does design affect and elevate brands in the real world?
Okay, it goes back to a little bit of the whole creative process.
Okay.
Because one of the thing is, like, design is only like the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
You only see design because that's the face of the whole thinking process. But why or how it impacts people is because the amount of uh, thinking and process, and I would say the amount of ideation, insights, the failures, everything that has gone behind the design for it to surface to this level. So how design impact is, because if I want now, let's go to aesthetics.
Right.
So design aesthetics, now I can debate. It needs to look really, really nice.
Yeah.
But what's nice for me is not nice for you.
Yeah.
I can like a car that you don't like. I can dress in a way that you don't like. But I'll still end up liking.
Yeah.
But the part of design is how you translate that idea into what your audience needs to see. May it be like, branding, packaging, tactile, whatever you call it. But the idea is the most important part that brings the design out. And that whole process has a way of impacting. Now, if I go back to the example of aesthetics, if I put a really nice looking dog and say, can you help me or fund my dog?
Right.
You'll never do it. But if I put a really helpless looking, mangy, old dog in an image and say, I want funds to take care of this dog.
Right, you evoke emotions.
Exactly. You're not doing aesthetically pleasing design.
Right.
But you're designing.
You're talking to them.
Exactly. You're putting a whole thought process into some visual form that attracts your audience.
Right.
So it's not necessarily, I wouldn't say like, designer should be doing this or that, or like, it's not like that. It's not, it's a whole surface of a deeper process.
Right. So I think designers need to be really good at psychology too, in a way.
You need to be one with your emotions, I guess.
Right, sensible, lot. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now let's play a little game of sort. It's not a game, but this is how it works. So I am going to say a part of a sentence, and then you have to finish the sentence with what you think works, right?
Okay.
All right, first one. A brand's visual identity fails when
it looks different but means nothing different.
A brand's visual identity fails when it looks different but means nothing different.
Means nothing.
So there should be intention behind the design.
Yeah,
is that
I mean, just for the sake of looking different, you shouldn't do brand identity, which is what a lot of people talk about. Like, I want a unique looking identity.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. It'll look unique. But if it doesn't mean anything to your audience, if it doesn't mean anything unique to your audience, it's a fail. Very famously, I've heard recently, there's a saying, if you're writing a tagline, anyone who reads it needs to be able to visualize something about it.
Interesting.
If not, it might sound like I can even put a swear word on a tagline. People will remember it.
Yeah.
But if they don't feel anything, if they don't make a connection with it, it's nothing. So I think brand identity fails when they just try to look different, but doesn't mean anything.
With that, before going on to the next sentence that I want you to finish, I wanted to ask you a question that was in our script. Do you have any examples that, off the top of your head, a really good advertising campaign or a design campaign that just interested so many people?
Internationally?
Yeah.
There's this one campaign from Australian Metro that was done some time back called "Dumb Ways to Die."
Mm-hmm.
That's what really inspires me in an international scale.
Okay.
What they talked about was if you are not careful around railroads, that's the dumbest way to die.
Right. Okay.
But they did it with a nursery rhyme sort of song and all that, and they made sure that everyone takes this message very lightheartedly because the largest audience that needed to be reached were kids.
Kids, right.
So the best way they could say is, look, there are so many dumb ways to die, but this is the dumbest way to die. So don't do it. It won multiple awards across international award festivals. That's the most impactful design one I've seen.
That's interesting. Okay, second sentence. The most powerful tool a designer has is creativity. Okay, that's pretty self-explanatory and says a lot as well. Next on, the biggest mistake modern advertisers make is
talking about the brand, not about the people.
Oh, interesting.
I would say the reason is because a lot of brands talk about what the brand is, what they can do best, what they can offer, all these things, but not how your customer or audience would feel. The best part about advertising is that we are tugging at people's emotions. So I think if I just come here and say, "Oh, I can do this, that, and so," uh, you'll hear what I'm saying today, but you'll not listen. But if I come and say, "Hey, you know what? I can really teach you do this," then I'm saying I know this, and you could learn something from me also. Then whenever you want to learn something, you'll be like, "Hey, you know what? I should call that guy."
Right.
And that's exactly what branding is. So stop talking about yourself and start talking about the people.
Awesome. All right. The next segment is a very, very, very demanded conversation, the AI disruption. This is something that probably keeps every creative up at night, right? Artificial intelligence and its takeover. And how do you think AI is affecting your career or the workflow of your teams at Publicis?
Publicis Group itself internationally embraces AI. And we are trained to sort of use AI as a tool also. I think that was a really great learning. I think I consider myself lucky because I was in a good workplace to sort of do that adaptation.
Right.
Because I don't think AI should be looked at as a villain.
Right.
What it does is it sort of helps you with processes. What it does is it crunches down your execution times. What it does is it crunches down your research time. But it still doesn't mean that if you want to talk to a person and say, "Hey, I want to sell this biscuit today," still the ideation part is yours.
Right.
You're just using it as a tool.
Right.
Advertising, I think, any industry, but I can speak for advertising. Advertising has gone through changes like this. It's not, the AI is not the first villain first thing that is looked as a villain, because you can use technology for good or bad, right? Any technology.
Yeah.
So when I joined advertising, some time back, there were there was a set of skills, and the people who acquired those skills were called paste-up artists, where you had to take a photograph, put it together, cut it, paste it, paint over it, airbrush it. So the whole artwork is done manually.
Okay.
Then came Photoshop.
Right.
People who didn't adapt to Photoshop did not survive in the industry. But people who did adapt to Photoshop didn't lose their job. They made it easier. They made it better.
Right.
Then now we have AI.
Yeah.
So if you do use it as a tool, I don't think it's going to be it's not necessarily a bad thing, but you can use it for bad.
Yeah, I think all these technologies that are coming out, it's like a weapon that can be used for good and makes things easier, actually. That's amazing to hear. I think that gives hope to all the aspiring creatives out there as well.
Learn AI. Learn AI. I'm not saying let it take over your life, but learn it.
Awesome. I think that answers our next question, like how can someone who's studying design or communications actually survive and stay relevant? Study AI.
Yeah.
And use
Try it, test it. Because like I said, curiosity doesn't always kill the cat. If you because even when we were coming up in our career, I still remember about 5 years ago, for you to put a picture of a girl in front of a different background, imagine cutting hairs and like extracting every strand so it looks transparent. All these things needed to be done manually.
Right.
But right now, if you can imagine, oh, this picture should be again something like that, you just write it as if I'm telling you to do it, and then you do it. That's it. It's automated.
It has become so easy.
Yeah, but it gives you more time for ideation. It gives you more time for your thinking. It gives you more time to go out and look at people and draw some inspiration.
More space to imagine,
exactly.
to come up with fresher ideas.
Yeah.
and then turn it into an amazing design or an output in a much more efficient way. Yeah, that's actually an amazing thing when you look at it that way, rather than villainizing it. With that, I would like to take your attention to something else that you have been exploring. You have been exploring integration of gamification and interactive digital marketing into creative campaign. So, how do you think adding this layer of gamification and interactive digital marketing changes the way of how traditional advertisements work?
Uh, okay, things like gamification, clients love to adapt because it sounds different. Like I said, the point is not just being different, meaning something different. So I remember we did some projects for some clients where we even gamified how they did their hiring and recruiting. So things like that. Yes, gamification is nice because if your audience wants to be engaged to what you want to say, and also maybe like feel they're being rewarded, or like that if there are certain audiences that wants to be engaged and like stay with you for a little bit longer in the journey, for them gamification is perfect. But if you're talking to an audience who does not have time to engage, or like wait for a reward for you, or like things like that, don't try to adapt gamification. But gamification has its benefits because of what I said. You can keep someone engaged for a longer time.
I think helps with the attention span as well, I guess.
And at the same time, what we did for the client who we did the hiring project was we helped them sort of automate their filtering process, because it was a simple set of quizzes and games and stuff where you really need to know if this employee would fit in to your organization.
You make it fun. Awesome. So with that, we are moving on to failures to lessons part, where we are talking about how we can learn from all the challenges that we face in our life, right? When people talk about creative director like yourself, they might maybe see only like these campaign launches, this shiny outer world. Oh, creative directors, right? But there is so much to get to that level. There's so much, right? So looking back at your roles across many organizations, what was the hardest industry related challenge that you've had to face, and how did you resolve it?
This is going to sound cliche, but like I said at the beginning, everything in advertising is like a daily challenge, because you're supposed to learn about things that you might not even know about. So it is. I would say the challenge is consistent. But if you were to ask me, like when I started off, I the best part was I had enough room for mistakes, and that made me realize that by doing smaller tasks, that where I can use my skill, I can overcome the challenges that I'm set with. But as you grow in your career, the challenges become bigger, the risks are bigger.
But you are more resilient.
Exactly. But the thing is, it's not always a matter of being resilient. It's a matter of like, okay, this might fail, but how do we come back, or how do we take a step further? Or you might go to a client and say something, and then they might not like it. But then what else can you say? What else do you have ready? Or how do you come back and understand? It's all a part of it.
All right, I am quite sad to say we are reaching towards the end. Before we get to the closing thoughts, we'll do our famous rapid fire round. 7 quick questions, rapid, punchy answers are needed. 1 sentence maximum. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay, first question. What is the single best quote that drives your career?
Don't hate challenges, make challenges hate you.
Awesome. Next, what is one book every creative must read?
A book.
Yeah.
Pandemonium by Piyush Pandey.
Awesome. What is the most underrated skill for a creative director?
Empathy.
Empathy. AI, the ultimate tool or the ultimate threat?
Tool, not the ultimate one.
Awesome answer. If you weren't in advertising, what career would you be in?
As of now, I don't think I'll survive in any other career because of how I have built my life around it. But
Right.
since this is rapid fire, military.
Military.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. What is the hardest part about pitching to a client?
Knowing that it might not pay off.
Right. And what software can you absolutely not live without?
I I could live without any
Any
software,
software?
but not. I mean, I'll need a lot for work.
Right. Awesome. That was an incredible session. To wrap this up, what is one final piece of advice that you would like to give to any student that is watching this episode?
Be relevant, be updated, and know that you don't know.
Know that you don't know. Very powerful. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Chanuka Wijayasinghe, for joining us and sharing your experiences and insights today. This was an amazing conversation. I enjoyed every bit of it. Um, Design is all about mastering human psychology, embracing new technology, and how to collaborate across different fields, like you said. So, on behalf of IEEE IAA Student Branch Society of SLIT and the entire Industry 360 Cast team, we would like to sincerely thank Mr. Chanuka for taking the time to share his journey and valuable insights with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. We would also like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our sponsors and supporters for making this initiative possible. Thank you, everyone, for watching Industry 360 Cast. We'll see you in our next episode. Until then, keep learning, keep adapting, and keep creating impact. Goodbye. We would also like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our digital media partner, The Day News Global, for their support and for providing the platform and studio space for today's recording. Thank you everyone for watching Industry 360 Cast. And before we end today's episode, here's something for all students watching. If you are passionate about technology, innovation, leadership, and building your future in engineering, you can become part of the IEEE IAS Student Branch community. For just $0.5, IEEE IAS membership gives you access to industry exposure, technical workshops, networking opportunities, leadership and project experience, and real-world initiatives just like Industry 360 Cast. Don't miss out. Join IEEE IAS and start building your future today. For more episodes, industry insights, and updates from IEEE IAS Sri Lanka, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Share this episode with your friends who are passionate about innovation, entrepreneurship, and technology.